Hey there, what's up everybody? It's Dr. Shazetta. I hope you guys are doing well. For this week's video, I am in Rochester, New York, part business, but also part just taking a step back and taking a deep breath. It's been a long several weeks. And so I had the opportunity to come down and be in conversation with some colleagues around some really interesting things yesterday and today. Not heavy lifting stuff, but just some good dialogue, and also just to take some self-time, some slow mornings, drink good coffee, eat good food, be in good conversation. And one of the things that I do when I am in kind of new places or new cities is I always look for camera stores, which I had hoped this morning to go out to, I think it's called the George Eastman Museum here, which is, from all accounts, an amazing place, a museum that is centered around photography and film in particular. My understanding is that the Eastman Museum also houses all of the original film reels for Spike Lee and people like that. And so I was hoping to go, but didn't have time to go. And I didn't really see any camera stores that piqued my interest. And so I've also been really itching, if you will, to try my hand again at drawing and sketching and kind of watercolor things. I've always wanted to create drawing and painting and to use kind of those mediums, but I've never been able to kind of grasp it on my own. And so I'm kind of leaning into it more. I've kind of got this urge to do it. And so I'm hoping that it's something that I can pick up. And so when I didn't see a camera store and when time and weather, because it's snowing like it's a blizzard here in the middle of April, didn't allow, I decided instead that I would look and see if there were any kind of local art supply stores here. If you know anything about me or you've been following it all, I've really been, over the last several months, trying really hard, being really intentional, I should say, about not shopping at big box stores, not doing Amazon. And so slowing down for, I think, ethical reasons, right, around those kind of big box stores and things like that, but also being more intentional about how I'm spending my money and where. And what I found is that by removing the convenience of just going into the big box shops or logging online to order something on Amazon that'll be delivered the same day or tomorrow or within 2 days with Amazon Prime, that the search for things that are quality and the search for things that are beautiful has really been enjoyable, but it's also saved me quite a bit of money because things haven't been so easy to access. And so one of the things that I want to get into doing is trying to sketch. Excuse the crinkle. I'm getting things out of the box that I should have gotten out before I started the video, or out of the bag, I should say. That I want to try my hand at as a contemplative practice is sketching and watercoloring. And I like small things. Folks will make jokes because I'm a short person, but I like small things. I like things that don't take up a lot of space and that are easy for me to carry around. They're easy for me to pack, that are lightweight, because I'm a one-bag traveler in most instances, especially when I'm traveling just for kind of pleasure or short trips like this. But I like to be able to take my creative tools with me. I think I brought more with me on this trip than I have in a trip in a long time, because I actually packed my free write. And I don't think I've shown you guys fully my free write on this channel, but I will show it to you. But it's on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram at Dr. Shazetta, I share like my tools and toys over there a lot. But I picked up the free write kind of smart typewriter hemming right version. It's absolutely beautiful. But it's chunky. It's not heavy, but it's chunky. And so I needed to, yeah, it's in my backpack, but it didn't allow me to pack everything in my backpack like I normally would. So I ended up with more than one bag. But nevertheless, I like to be able to pack my things in small packages so that I'm never in a place where I have to leave creative tools or supplies behind because they are adding weight, or that they never bring me, make me regret bringing them along because they've been inconvenient to carry. And so, I wanted to find something small, but something that's also beautiful. I've been looking on social media and online. I've seen like the little wooden watercolor palettes, and I may very well get one of those at some point. But the price point gave me pause, not because it was super high, but for something that is new that I'm experimenting with. I didn't want to spend $80 or $90 on a watercolor palette, and maybe I end up not liking it, and maybe I hate it, or or things like that. So I wanted to experiment a little bit first, and then perhaps make a more a larger monetary investment into the actual watercolor set at a later time. So there are a few things that I picked up, and so I wanted to share with you all today my art supply store haul. The art supply store that I went to was Rochester Art Supply. When I looked up art supply stores in Rochester, it looked like a little quaint local local and perhaps locally owned, certainly locally run art supply shop in, I don't know if it's downtown, but it looked like downtown Rochester. Are located, I think it's 120 or 150 West Main Street. I'm not sure, but it's Rochester Art Supply. And it gave all the vibes, even in the photos, even online when I looked. And so they opened at 8 a.m. And so even though it was blizzardy and snowy outside in the middle of April, I still hopped in an Uber and went before the scheduled day for me to get started. And so I wanted to show you guys what I got. So starting with the kind of unrelated thing first is this. This is I don't know if I can get it to focus. This is a calligraphy pen. It's called Pigma Calligrapher. It's waterproof ink, and this is in Hunter Green. And so bring that up there so you all can see if you can get, there we go, so they can focus. I used to do and try my hand at calligraphy when I was a kid. I was self-taught, and it was something that I really enjoyed doing. And now that I am journaling by hand and with my fountain pen more often and usually daily, looking for something to add just a little bit of interest and excitement to my journal. And so it was a cheap kind of plasticky calligrapher's pen. Again, if I decide to stick with it, I'll invest in something that's less plastic and more beautiful maybe at some point, but this certainly does the trick. Secondly, I picked up the Winsor Newton. Let's see if I can turn off my autofocus on here. There we go. Don't want the auto track. All right, so this is the Winsor something Winsor Newton Cotman watercolor palette in the pocket size. I don't find it to be particularly, it's not ugly, it's not beautiful. I really do want something a little bit smaller than this with some basic colors. And I want something that is a little bit more interesting to look at, but I think this is going to be functional. So the cost for this was $24.49. The better looking one, the more aesthetic actual case that wasn't plasticky and just plain white, was like $65, and I didn't want to spend that amount of money about something that for something that I'm just trying. And this comes with 12 colors. If you can see that. And it also comes with this cool little kind of travel watercolor brush. It's one of the finer tip brushes. So, at some point I assume that I will want something that gives me covers a little bit more space or real estate. But for right now, this is cool. So I'm excited to try this out today. Actually have something I'm looking at across the street that I'm going to try. And then I picked up the Hahnemühle Agave watercolor little pad for $5.69. Now, I like Hahnemühle paper in general for printing photos. I print my postcard size 4x6 and 5x7, well, 4x6 photos, postcard size photos, on Hahnemühle postcard paper when I'm printing my photos for like photo swaps or gifts or things like that. And so I love Hahnemühle paper, so I figured I would kind of like this as well. And again, it's for the small little things. So right now, then my kit is looking like this, and in comparison to my smartphone, right, it's still smaller than my smartphone. And then I picked up this little guy. I'm making so much noise. I picked up this little guy, which is a little a little water pot, has a top on it, right? So I can clip it to, you know, whatever my pad is or my palette, whatever it is that I'm using, and have my water there to dip for my watercolor brush if I wanted to. And I like that it has a little top. And then I picked up a little roll of masking tape because I do like the idea of taping off my pages to create kind of that white border around it. So altogether, I spent 44 bucks, $44.31, and that was my little gift and investment in myself. And I am going to just experiment and have some fun. No pressure on myself, having spent what I spent, but it not being like $100 that I spent on this stuff. I don't feel a great deal of pressure with regard to, you know, making sure that I, how should I say it, do an amazing job. And I don't know if I would have felt that great deal of pressure if I had spent more money, but minimally, I think there would have been a measure of guilt kind of associated with spending that much on something that I don't know how to do well, and something that I'm not necessarily investing time and money into to get lessons for. It's just something that I want to try my hand at and see if I can figure it out, which really has been in many ways what I've done with all of my art forms. Almost all of them, if not all of them, are self-taught, either through watching folks or trial and error or YouTube videos, or back in the day when I was a little kid, library books. And so all of my art forms that I've learned have been self-taught. And that's not to say that you shouldn't and that I won't at some point invest in learning particular art forms. Like I really want to learn how to work with clay and do pottery and create my own coffee mugs. And so that is something that at some point in the near future I will be looking toward, or in the future I'll be looking toward finding classes or lessons or some sort of workshop around. But for this, I just want it to be something relaxing. It is blizzardy snowy outside, and blizzard might be overkill. It's just what it looks like because the wind is blowing. But I've got a beautiful view of the Rochester Museum of Play. Their parking garage has this beautiful gradient kind of decoration on it. And so I'm going to, I think, make my first watercolor attempt at doing it or painting it. So, and I've got about an hour or so before it's time for me to leave for some continued dialogue with some colleagues, and I'll let you guys know how it turns out, perhaps. But all that to say, try something new. Try to create something beautiful, even if it doesn't come out perfect. But don't be afraid to spend or invest a few dollars and a little bit of time into trying something new that could very well bring you joy. I am at a place where I am longing to create something every day, and I sat down with my free write today, and I got up not really feeling writing, but I did it as a matter of discipline this morning. But I really, really wanted to create something with color, and it's too cold, and I didn't bring enough clothes or, you know, enough layers to go out and walk and wander in the city to take photos. Haven't taken my camera out this trip. And sometimes, you know, even as much as I love taking photos, sometimes that inspiration just isn't there. And so I am very much enjoying kind of this season of rediscovery of the things that I enjoy, if you will. Now let me tell y'all what's annoying real quick, and then I'm gonna let you all go. I am trying to unpackage each of these little trays of watercolor, and each one is meticulously wrapped, and I am certain that it is for good reason, but my God, each little individual one, and I've got all of this little paper. Look at that, all that paper that I'm unwrapping. So at any rate, I pray that you all have an amazing day today. I pray that you are in a place where you are reminding yourself daily that you are worth every trial, every error, every try, every error. You are worth the investment of time that it takes to discover things that bring you joy or that are life-giving to you. I hope that you are reminding yourself daily to seek out that which is beautiful, to look for beauty, even in things that others would normally, or that you might normally dismiss. As we do these things, I continue to be assured and reassured that that this is the path, right, to that searching for what is beautiful and giving yourself permission to do that is an integral part of the path to living a well life. So I wish you well. If you have not already, hit that like and subscribe button. I certainly invite you to do so. As we continue, I continue to share moments of my life with you as I continue to be or to endeavor to create a space where inspiration, intellect, and creativity collide. That is what I hope the Dr. Shazetta space or spaces will be, will become, and will be known as. Take good care. We'll talk to y'all later now. Bye-bye.